We start in France, where verdicts are expected in the Gisèle Pelicot mass rape trial. People have been gathering outside the court in Avignon to show solidarity with Ms Pelicot. Her ex-husband has already pleaded guilty to drugging and raping his wife over nearly 10 years. 50 more men are on trial, accused of rape and sexual assault. For many, Gisèle Pelicot has become a feminist hero for choosing a public trial and standing up to her alleged aggressors in court.
For 4 months now, the Pelicot trial has been impossible to ignore in Avignon, as these activists have been putting up signs with phrases pronounced at court in the city's streets. Tonight, they are expressing their gratitude.
Our voices are never listened to. Gisèle Pelicot has given women a voice, also by waiving her right to anonymity, and so we choose to put up her words on walls around the city.
De Verlange and her fellow activists have been closely following events inside the courtroom, where videos of Gisèle's husband and the other men allegedly raping an unconscious or sleeping Gisèle were shown. Many of the accused claimed they thought she had given her consent. De Verlange says hearing that was unbearable.
When I see Gisèle Pelicot, I feel a lot of sadness given what she had to go through. She has shown so much courage. That will help women to take ownership of their story, the story of male violence, of rape. Gisèle Pelicot's story is the story of every woman who had to go through male violence.
The trial has been having an impact more widely. This socio-anthropologist, together with a group of 10 other researchers, has been documenting that impact, talking to people at the courthouse or living and working in its vicinity. She says the court case has been on everybody's mind, even if some people are still finding it too painful to have a closer look.
We're already catching a glimpse of how the trial can have people realize that rapists are not necessarily monsters. They're often ordinary men. This court case is also raising the question how the relationship between men and women can be readjusted.
The ordeal displayed at court has also spurred calls for greater change.
Some here are now demanding legal measures to require active consent for sex, like Sweden enacted in 2018. Both parties would then have to give their clear agreement. Otherwise, sexual acts would be regarded as sexual assault or rape.
The activists are meanwhile preparing for future trials in the Pelicot case. Investigators are still looking to identify up to 60 other men who might have taken part in the mass rape. Amazon founder De Verlange is hoping the trial marks a watershed.
Our laws to protect women should finally be implemented. Men have to know that if they rape someone, they will have to go to prison.
Gisèle Pelicot, meanwhile, has already become a symbol of dignity and resilience to many.
That report from our correspondent Lisa Louis, who joins us now from outside the court in Avignon, where verdicts are expected within the hour. Welcome, Lisa. Can you give us a sense of what's going on in there at the moment?
There have been hundreds of people gathering here since hours back. Actually, you can hear them behind me. And I believe that, we've seen the accused arriving and people who had gathered in front of the courthouse, they were actually yelling, "Rapist, shame on you." And then obviously they have been applauding when Gisèle Pelicot's daughter arrived at the courthouse. So people here are really watching. Meanwhile, there are about 200 journalists who are present here at the courthouse today. Parts of them have gone in now to listen to the verdict that will soon be read out at court here.
And what sort of sentences are expected?
Well, the accusation has asked for 20 years for Dominique Pelicot, Gisèle's husband, who admitted to raping her, to organising the mass rape and filming everything. and then they asked for up to 18 years for all the other alleged rapists who are accused here today. So we will see what the court will hunt down later on. Obviously, people I've been talking to, including a feminist group I was talking to yesterday and this morning, they were saying, we really want tough sentences. We want this to, really be a sign that France will now take into account what women are saying, and that this country and this justice system is finally listening to women who are raped.
The case has attracted attention around the world. Has it changed the discussion around sexual assault in France?
It has certainly shone a spotlight on what's happening here. Lots of people have been discussing the case in France, but also abroad. And obviously many are hoping this will lead to further soul searching. Some people are now asking, for a comprehensive law on sexual assault and rape. They are saying that men should really question their role in society. And, analysts have been saying that this might indeed be a historical case. There might be a before and an after the Pelicot court case. And one reason, or maybe the main reason for that, is really Gisèle Pelicot, who waived her right to anonymity and who came here every day and showed such dignity that women all around the world are just looking up to her and saying, this can't have been for nothing. Things must change now.
And as you were speaking, we're just looking at live pictures of Gisèle Pelicot appearing outside the court. Has there been pushback, I wonder, Lisa? Is it clear to the general public that if these charges are proved, then this is a bad thing? Or is there a section of the public, perhaps male, that thinks that this is not as bad as being made out?
Well, I think, there is a part of population that is still not really managing to look at this and thinking, this is too intimate, and I don't want to think about it. But I think it will be very, very difficult to say, after what we have seen during this court case, that you just didn't know that a woman did not give her consent if she's asleep or if she has taken drugs. And that's something that, some of the accused have been bringing forward as arguments. So I think that this is really going to change. It will have to change. Obviously, there will always be some pushback. Some people will be reluctant to, join in the general, soul searching. And obviously, we should also remember that this is not, an accusation against all men. It's just a questioning of how society should be structured and by whom, or if society should actually be dominated by anyone.
Thank you very much for that, Lisa. Lisa Louis in Avignon.